Hi, Hype students and parents. Pastor Kent here with another Hype Weekly Update. If you watched last week's video, you know that we are doing a riddle of the week, and the first person to text me the right answer will get a free item at Hype's concession stand next time they come to Hype. The riddle of this week is Mr. and Mrs. Mustard have 6 daughters. Each daughter has one brother. How many people are in the Mustard family? Mr. and Mrs. Mustard have 6 daughters. Each daughter has one brother. How many people are in the Mustard family? First Hype student to text the correct answer to me at 309-620-6606 will get one free item from Hype's concession stand next time they come to Hype. If you're unable to join us last Sunday, we finished up our series, A Gospel-Minded Mission, as we looked at 2 key characters in the book of Acts named Priscilla and Aquila. Priscilla and Aquila, they are met by Paul in Acts 18 as they are all tent makers, and Paul talks to them about who Jesus is. They accept Christ, become saved, and then they travel with Paul. And that's where we see them meet Apollos in verses 25. And I just want to read this and then kind of just give you some encouragement that we talked about last night or this past Sunday at Hype. Acts chapter 18, verse 25. He, being Apollos, had been instructed in the way of the Lord, being fervent in spirit, he was teaching and speaking accurately about Jesus, although he only knew John's baptism. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. After Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they took him aside and explained the way of God to him more accurately. And so in this passage, we see Priscilla and Aquila, husband and wife, dynamic duo on mission for the Lord, hearing someone talk about Jesus, but in a way that is not fully representing the gospel. Apollos only knew about John's baptism, John's teaching, and did not hear the full story. Mike, who taught the lesson last night, said it's like reading a book and only knowing 9 chapters and not knowing that 10th and final chapter of the book. So Priscilla and Aquila, they explained to him the work of Christ on the cross, and then explained the entire gospel and corrected his teaching so he could fully know and then teach the gospel. And Apollos, we know from then on, goes to be a great teacher in the church and is compared to the likes of Paul and Peter in 1 Corinthians. So we see Priscilla and Aquila appropriately correcting someone who didn't know the full gospel and encouraging them and training them to go out and spread the gospel in its fullest meaning. So I just want to encourage you with this, students and parents, no matter where you're at, if you encounter someone who's kind of talking about Christ or doesn't even know who Christ is and giving a different worldview, I encourage you, pull them aside. Don't do it publicly. Don't shame them, but pull them aside and explain to them the gospel. This requires us to know the gospel, to know the Bible. So maybe a first step before you do this is to start reading the Bible. Start understanding what the gospel is. And if you have any questions or need help doing this, that I would love to help you along this journey and process of knowing what the Bible is and what the gospel is, and so therefore you can share it with others. That's my encouragement to you this week. Wherever you go, if you encounter someone who is teaching a worldview or something that's not quite all the way biblically based, I encourage you to have a conversation with them. Some announcements this week is that we have our Hype Super Bowl party this Sunday. Doors open at 6, and they'll be open until about the end of the game, which is around 9-ish, 9 p.m. So I hope you can join us. Bring a friend. We'll have food, we'll have drinks, and we'll have lots of games and lots of fun. And I hope to see you there. This upcoming Sunday, doors open at 6, and will be open till the end of the game, which will be around 9 p.m. I hope you found this video to be informative and encouraging, and I hope you have a great rest of your week in the Lord. God bless.